China has lashed out at the United States over allegations of doping by Chinese swimmers ahead of the Paris Olympics 2024. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian spoke a day after the World Anti-Doping Agency released an interim report from an investigator who concluded he found no evidence that WADA showed favoritism toward China in its handling of the case. The investigator said WADA made a reasonable decision by taking the word of authorities in China who determined the swimmers ingested a banned heart medication. In response, one of WADA's biggest critics, U.S. Anti-Doping Agency CEO Travis Tigard, said many questions remained. "We urge the U.S. to respect the Olympic spirit, abide by international law and basic norms of international relations, stop talking to itself and refrain from artificially created false narratives," Lin said at a daily briefing, and said China considered the WADA ruling to be independent and fair. The spokesperson asserted that the U.S. goal is to slander outstanding Chinese athletes and affect Chinese athletes' participation in the Paris Olympics. 23 Chinese swimmers tested positive for the prescription heart drug trimetazidine, TMZ, which can enhance performance ahead of the pandemic-delayed 2021 Tokyo Games, it emerged in April. They were not sanctioned after the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, accepted the argument of Chinese authorities that the positive tests were caused by contaminated food. Several of the swimmers went on to win medals, including gold, in Tokyo months later. China named its swimming squad for Paris on Tuesday. Among them were 11 of the 23 who were named in news reports in April that broke the story about the mass positive tests. The squad includes butterfly specialist Zhang Yufei, who won 2 golds in Japan, as well as another gold medalist in Wangshan. Breaststroke multiple world champion and 200m record holder Qin Yang is another who was named in the reports and will go to Paris. In April, the New York Times and German broadcaster ARD reported that 23 Chinese swimmers tested positive for TMZ at a domestic competition in late 2020 and early 2021. It was determined by Chinese anti-doping authorities that they ingested the substance unwittingly from tainted food at their hotel and no action against them was warranted. WADA's decision not to punish the swimmers and allow them to carry on competing provoked intense criticism, particularly from the United States. There was also anger at how the case emerged, via media reports rather than official channels. The head of the U.S. National Anti-Doping Agency Travis Tigard called it a potential cover-up, an allegation WADA and China have strongly denied. WADA has said it will send a compliance audit team to China to assess the current state of the country's anti-doping program, an investigation that China has said it will cooperate with. Asked Wednesday about when that compliance team might go to China, Beijing said only that it consistently adhered to the firm stance of zero tolerance for doping. China has resolutely safeguarded the physical and mental health of athletes, safeguarded fair competition in sports competitions, and has made positive contributions to the unified global fight against doping, Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian said. This month the New York Times reported that Qin Wang and another swimmer among the 23 had also tested positive for a different banned substance in separate cases years earlier. The Times said the 3 tested positive for clenbuterol in 2016 and 2017. Chinese authorities argued they had ingested the substance inadvertently through contaminated meat and no disciplinary action was taken. WADA said the trio were found to have levels of clenbuterol which were between 6 and 50 times lower than the minimum reporting level currently used by the agency. In a statement to AFP, China's anti-doping body hit back this week, calling the latest Times story a violation of media ethics and morals. Along with powerhouses the United States and Australia, China will expect to be among the swimming medals when the Paris Olympics begin on July 26. China's swimmers will however be under intense added scrutiny. Speaking on the eve of the U.S. Olympic trials, which started Saturday, the 100-meter breaststroke world record holder Lily King called the most recent revelations involving Chinese swimmers disappointing and frustrating. "You know, when we put everything on the line, everything that we do to compete with a level playing field, it's extremely frustrating to not have faith that others are doing the same thing," she said.